great source that created us. And so my reading today actually is from Ernest Holmes' Wisdom for Daily Wisdoms, 365. And excuse me, I don't know why I'm so croaky this morning. And it is, all things are made whole. And thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy mind, and thy neighbor as thyself. That's from Mark 12:30 and 31. And Ernest Holmes says, when we let the love that is within us go out to the God who is in all people, and the divine presence that is in all things, then we are loving God with all our heart, with all our soul and mind, because we're recognizing that the spirit within us is the same spirit that we meet in others. This is loving our neighbors as ourselves. The love that is within me goes out to the God who is within all people. I recognize the divine presence everywhere. I know that it responds to me, and I know that there is a law of good, a law of love, forever giving of itself to me. This divine and perfect law is circulating through me now. Its rhythm is my heartbeat. Its perfection is manifest in every organ, action, and function of my physical body. Love and perfect light circulate through everything. This love and this life I accept as the truth about myself now and forever. This same love, this same presence, this same law of good I recognize in others. It is a divine presence, a holy presence, and a perfect presence. It is a law that heals and makes whole, that prospers and makes happy. This is the law of my life. This is the good that I meet everywhere. I know that the only power there is, and the only presence there is love, the Spirit Almighty. There is no condemnation, no judgment, and no fear in me. I feel that I belong to the world in which I live, that I love people and am loved of them. I have a deep sense of confidence and trust. I feel that I am secure in life and am no longer anxious about anything. This is a wonderful meditation and an actual treatment by Ernest Holmes. And it is to be taken in for ourselves, but also for all of those we think of, touch, love, however we meet. We are one in this wholeness. And it includes everything Rev Ann spoke of last week, the week before, and the weeks and weeks and weeks before. It brings passion and joy and inspiration. And for this, I am really grateful. So I would like to offer this affirmation. And if I will just say it slowly and repeat after me, so I don't have to read it, it's short. I love the love that is within me.
The love that is within me
Goes out to the God who is within all people.
goes out to the God that is within all people.
And so it is.
And so it is.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Good morning, I'm Joseph Salek, and this morning it's a pleasure to be introducing Braden Schmick. He is performing at the Everyday Center for the first time. Braden grew up in Washington State and relocated to Santa Fe back in September of 22. He is a classically trained violist. He produces, teaches, performs, sings, and collaborates in all these ways with music. This afternoon, he will be part of a small improvising ensemble at Body for a meeting of ecstatic dance. He has a deep passion for the power of sound and the connection we have with each other with spirit and with this earth. Please join me in welcoming Braden Schmidt.
First song will be I Shall Be Released by Bob Dylan. They say everything can be replaced, yet every distance is not near. So I remember every face of every man who put me here. I see my light come shining from the west to the east. Any day now, any day now, I shall be released. They say every man needs protection. They say every man must fall. Yet I swear I see my reflection somewhere so high above the wall. I see my light come shining from the west to the east. Any day now, any day now, I shall be released. We understand, man, in this lonely crowd, man who swears he's not to blame. Well, all day long I hear him crying so loud, calling out that he's been afraid. I see my light come shining from the west to the east. Any day now, any day now, I shall be released. I see my light come shining from the west to the east. Any day now, any day now, I shall be released.
1 second. I know that this is your first time here. Oh, no. You don't get to sit down yet. You get to come up and find me. Yeah. Can we please show Raven an everyday welcome and appreciation? That's right. You're welcome. I just love doing that. Because that's right, you know, to receive the gifts that these artists bring us, it is extraordinary. And you know, last Sunday I spoke about air, right? As plentiful as air. And one of the things first that we should notice about air is that we don't do anything to earn it. It's just part of our atmosphere that keeps us alive, by the way. And the musical gifts that we receive are kind of like that. We just sit there and receive them. So I think it's very important to show our appreciation always. And we're good at it too.
We are.
I'm Rev Ann Rea, and I get to be the senior minister of the absolutely extraordinary, amazing, fabulous, unbelievable, incredible Everyday Center for Spiritual Living in Santa Fe, New Mexico. So you must be wondering, especially after the lead up that Patty gave me
Nice, Patty.
about all of my eloquence. Woo! That's a, $50 word. We've been talking all month about our old ideas about income, our old ideas about provision, our old ideas about, and maybe not so old, some of them may be still currently kind of floating around in our minds, about what it means to be a part of this universe, this one life that constantly supports itself, even though the ways aren't always obvious. That's what makes it hard. That's what makes it hard, is that we look at our life or other people's lives who are having difficulties and we say, well, that doesn't look like provision to me. That doesn't look like the style to which a child of God should be accustomed. Well, that's our idea. That's our idea. So today we're going to talk about attending to our source. Because the whole month, and really as we go through the year, I will continue to be, helping us like this, to attend to our source. Because we get confused about what that source is.
Yep.
And it's okay. It's okay. We didn't always know. It's possible that as part of our early upbringing, that we got confused about our source. We came here knowing. I guarantee you. Isn't there a guy on TV that says, I guarantee it? Oh, maybe he's only in California. Anyway, I guarantee you that we came here knowing, because there was nothing else to know. We came here knowing that provision was ours. We came here knowing, not in an intellectual sense. Just for a moment, take this and suspend it. Take the intellect and give it a morning off. I want to talk to your hearts, because your hearts know what I'm talking about. Your heart always knew. We came here knowing what it means to be a child, to be a beloved, to be a most precious of the divine itself. And those of us who may be sitting there thinking, well, I was never taught I was the most precious of anything. It isn't about what you were taught. It's about what you already knew. And then you were taught to forget. You were taught to turn to other people and to jobs and to education and to other sources of information. And I'm going like this for a reason, not because I think our brain is bad or does us harm. What I think is that our brain does the best it can with what it has. And it's not really great at hanging on to a new idea very long without help. Which is why we meet here, is to show up as that help. Our brain wants to go back to what it knows. Our brain wants to go back to the experiences that it's had. Our brain wants to go back and stay there. And sure, when we're in an institute of education, or we're reading a book that actually feeds us something, we get a taste of it. We get a taste because something lights us up. We read a sentence. Patty, can I borrow your book for a sec? And if you'll turn it to the pages that you used, please. We'll read a sentence that just lights us up. Oh yeah, and I need my glasses. And we go, wait a minute. So then we highlight it. I don't know about you, but I had a lifetime supply of highlighters when I was in. Oh, thank you. Ah, the gift of glasses. And if I think about how long I bragged about not needing them, You know, I'm sure Ernest Holmes is, as you know, very famous for many off-the-shoulder responses that he made to people. I mean, he was hilarious. And this woman walked up to him, this really happened. This woman walked up to him in service one Sunday and she said, if your faith is so pure, how come you wear glasses? Now, mind you, he was about Linda's height. And she is standing up. And he looked at her and he smiled and he said, I wear my doubt on my face. Where is yours? Because what he was saying is that his glasses are a reflection of doubt of his wholeness. Even though he talked about it all the time. His glasses were a reflection of his doubt in the truth. He was a kick in the... that too. So when I'm talking about a statement grabbing us, I want to find exactly the one. The love that is within me goes out to the God who is within all people. And if you have an allergy to the word God, just substitute whatever you want, because it really doesn't care. It is the one. It is not attached to a name or a label. Believe me. The love that is within me goes out to the God who is within all people. I recognize the divine presence everywhere. I know that it responds to me, and I know that there is a law of good, a law of love, forever giving of itself to me. I know there is a law of good, a law of love, forever giving of itself to me. And that is our source.
Yes.
Right there. Now, what's this law business? Because that seems a little weird. What's this law business? Law is principle. Law is something that behaves, in this context, law is something that behaves the same everywhere, with everyone and everything all the time. And it is these principles that we study. Y'all know we're not a religion, right?
Right.
This is why we're not a religion. Because there is no one way. There is no one name. There is no one worship. But there is only one. And the only one that there is isn't just the divine. Hello, it's you too, and me too, and the trees too. It is. It's all there is. Everything. And if it behaved inconsistently in any context, listen up now, in any context, if it behaved inconsistently, it would not be the one. Does that make sense?
Yes.
How could it be the one and do something different. That's what the law is. The law of love, the law of giving, the law of receptivity, the law of generosity, the law of creation. That's what the law refers to. Is the one life that is all life, that is my life and your life now, always behaving according to its nature. And its nature is
Love.
its nature is love. Therefore, our nature is
Love.
really?
Love.
At least 5 people know. Good grief. Exactly, Rita. All there is love. And it's interesting to me when we look back over history, and I mean back, not recent, because reflecting on anything recent doesn't give us much at all. But when we look back over history, we can see its consistency.
Yeah.
It's very obvious. So why is it beneficial for us to attend, meaning in this context, to pay attention to, attend to our source? Why do you think that's a good idea?
That's where all our guidance comes from.
It's where all our guidance comes from. Patty cannot be the only one who knows. Why else?
It reminds us of our connection.
Reminds us of our connection.
So we are responsible.
That's how we are.
Responsible.
How we are responsible. Great, Stephen. Great too, Patty and Denise.
Reminds us that it's all love, that we are.
Reminds us that it and we are all love. It also prevents confusion. Because if one avenue of our good isn't acting normally, let's say that our Social Security check gets held up in the mail, or our paycheck goes sideways for a little while. It's very easy to think that Social Security and the place wherever the paycheck came are our source.
Yeah.
And to get all mad and to get all wrapped up in them and that and how it should have done this and it should have done the other thing and blah, 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 blah. And all of that blah, blah keeps us from focusing on what's really going on. What's really going on is that we're being asked what we're paying attention to. Just asked. It's just a little nudge. When it's something bigger than a little nudge, and it feels more like a 2x4, what are we really honoring and worried about and judging as our source? It may seem inconceivable. That we would so trust the law of giving, the law of love, the law of generosity, the law of provision, that we would so trust those laws that we would never be worried about anything. Go ahead and gasp, it won't bother me. But we've been taught to gasp. We've been carefully taught to worry, sometimes by generations. And I ask you, when, you only need to name one, on any given day, did that do you any good? When?
Never.
When did it give you peace of mind? When did it make you feel held and cared for? When did it make you feel precious? When did it make you feel certain that all of your needs would be met?
Never.
When?
Never.
And yet we still worry.
Yep.
Except for that. We trust, but then we worry.
Yeah.
Because our trust is conditional.
Yes.
Huh.
Yeah.
Now, I know that this doesn't apply to anybody in this room. But we know people whose trust is conditional. Because if just this once, this job comes through, or this raise comes through, or this whatever comes through, then we'll know. If it wouldn't look ridiculous, and if I actually thought I could get up, I would get down on my knees right now and beg you to change your mind. I would beg you to change your mind. I would beg you to have so much trust in the truth and so much trust in the laws that are universal. They aren't just spiritual, by the way. They're scientific. Not that that necessarily gives us, all of us, more faith in it just because it's scientific. The universality is what should give us more faith in it. Oops, I should've. Oh well. I would beg you, because the quality of life you want, how you want to feel in your body, mind, and spirit, how you want every day to be experienced, that's how it's going to happen. And that's the only way it's going to happen. The storehouse that is the one itself. I mean, first of all, think about it. Is it going to deny itself anything?
No.
I'm going to try that one again. Is, whether you call it God, Spirit, the universe, George, is it going to deny itself anything?
No.
Duh! deny you. It would pick you out. Of all of the visions and versions of itself, it would pick you out, or me out, or anyone we know out, and say, well, everybody but you gets their dreams fulfilled. Everybody but you gets to feel loved. Everybody but you gets to feel cared for by life itself. Everybody but you. That doesn't even make any sense. Because the you that it would be referring to is itself. You gotta get it.
Yeah.
You are it.
Right.
Yes.
It lives through you. It expresses through you. It creates through you. With or without your knowledge or cooperation. But all the while, even without knowledge or cooperation, you're directing it. You're saying, no. No, I don't want that easy, delicious, comfy life. I'd rather struggle. I'd rather worry. One of my all-time favorites. I would rather judge people. I'd rather be right. At what price? So as we're attending to our source, what we're really doing is we are giving it a new chance. We're saying, okay, I know what I thought I knew. I followed what I thought was right. Or I didn't. And I'm willing. I am willing to not have age define me. I am willing to not have circumstance define me. I am willing to be everything that the divine has intended for me to be, and it doesn't matter how long ago we started this journey. If we didn't have a shot at still getting it right, we wouldn't still be here. And I'm not saying that when we leave the physical planet, that it's because the divine has said, oh, I'm done with you. No, actually, my belief is that our spirit becomes too big for our house. Too big for this physical house. And it says to us, you can't handle me anymore. I need room to grow. It is worth our while to give thought, to be intentional, to take sweet inner time and really think about this opportunity and how we might use it differently. And so it is.
So it is.
Magic.
It is. This next song will be One Day by Matisse. Yahu. Something like that. I just want to say thank you for having me here. It's been a joy to play and be in this space where music and connection is so appreciated and loved. So, yeah.
Thank you.
Sometimes I lay under the moon and thank God I'm breathing. Then I pray, don't take me soon, 'cause I'm here for a reason. Sometimes in my tears I drown, but I never let it get me down. And the negativity surrounds, I know someday it will all turn around, because all my life I've been waiting for, I've been praying for the people to say that we don't gotta fight no more, there be no more wars, and our children will play one day, one day, one day. One day, one day, one day. It's not about win or lose, so we are lose when they beat up the souls of the innocent, blood-drenched people. Keep on moving though the waters stay raging. In this space we can lose our way. It might drive you crazy, but don't let it face you away. No way. Sometimes in my days I drown, but I never let it get me down. And when negativity surrounds, I know someday it will all turn around, because all my life I've been waiting for, I've been praying for the people to say that we don't gotta fight no more, there be no more wars, and our children will play one day, one day, one day. One day, one day, one day. Games I will change, treat people the same. Stop with the violence, down with the hate. One day we'll all be free and proud to be under the same song, singing songs of freedom like whoa, oh, 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 ooh, yeah. All my life I've been waiting for, I've been praying